I'm going forward with this on the assumption that this is not copyright ID'd. If it is, then screw me, I guess. You know, that's life. Get dabbed on me. But I've been seeing so much discourse about this exact one specific 35-second video that I feel we should. I'll just get my thoughts out of the way on it. You know, it's a thing that comes up a lot, a weird amount. Okay, so there's this content creator called JoCat. Everyone already knows this video is, don't you? So for the 1% of people who are watching who have not heard or seen this video, then I guess so some people in chat don't. Oh, that's okay. That's incredible to me. We walk in different circles. That's fine. Okay, so this guy is remarkable. As everyone has said before, I'm not new. I haven't invented this, you know. This guy is gay for women. He's a guy and he's gay for women. It's crazy, you know. It's crazy the kinds of guys they'll invent. We'll watch the video, okay? Hold on. It's, you know, by the way, some people sort of like initially, I think, are going to cringe at the video because it's sort of overly earnest. But I would invite you to be strong and not cringe because you probably agree with the subject of the video. You know what I mean? I think it's quite cute, personally. If it's cringe, then it's free. Okay, I'm playing it on my politics channel. Let's go.
Sad that there's no muscly girls in here. Well, I mean, yeah, but, you know, sure, I like to joke around and
I'm doing
talk
it.
about how, oh, I'm strong women
The
all
cute
the time.
little cat
But
ears.
that's not the only girls I like. I like big girls, pretty kitty girls, really witty
Dance
girls,
along.
singing ditty girls. I like the licky girls with the nice thighs. I like a good chest, no matter what size. I like the belly folds, I like the six packs, really tall queens, and the short stacks. From the mild girls to the wild girls. You got style girls, make them round girls.
See, a lot of people have seen it.
Yeah, I just really like girls.
That's the video. See, that's not that bad. Okay, why are we talking about this? Okay, this video constructs, there's so much discourse around this video that you wouldn't believe. No, it's not a new video. This isn't like new discourse or whatever. This keeps happening over and over and over again. And the joke is like, oh, well, he's gay for women because he in his heterosexuality, he acts the way about women that women do about women or men do about men. You know, if you've been online for any length of time, you probably noticed that, like, the way that women, that lesbian women talk about women and the way gay men talk about men is so different to the way that straight men and women talk about each other, right? Like, there is such a colossal difference in the attitudes that are taken there. And there's, you know, I'm generalizing, obviously, but like, you know, I feel like in a lot of cases when it comes to like homosexual relationships, you know, there's this like obscene, like rhapsodious obsession with the beauty and so on of the other. You can see a lot of this also in drawn pornography, I feel, where there's just so much more, I guess, reverence for the other or the attractiveness. Reverence that is kind of seen in this video, I think, with, because, you know, this guy likes girls, right? That's what I'm noticing when I look at this. He likes girls. He said so. But then with men and women in like a straight relationship or like the heterosexual dynamic, there's a lot more like hesitant, I guess, game playing where there seems to be an almost like built up mutual resentment sometimes because both rely on the other in a way they don't necessarily like. And there's a lot of like compulsive heterosexuality discourse that can be found in that. It's not exactly like crazy and innovative and revolutionary to say that a lot of guys do the whole like the wife, the ball and chain thing. Like, how many guys, it's not as common these days, but I'm pretty sure that for a long period of time, like the default attitude that culturally it was kind of accepted for guys to take towards their wives was with this like beleaguered, like, oh, they're an extra child that I have to take care of. It's my job to manage the affairs, and like, but they still limit what I can do, and they're a restriction on my freedom, and so on. And a lot of straight women just do not seem to like men that much, to be honest with you. Like, they'll have sex with them, and they seem to like care a lot about the idea of having a big like Disney storybook wedding. But there are a lot of straight women whose attitude towards men does not, like, a lot of them don't seem to be attracted to men in like the same way that a lot of men are attracted to women, you know? This is why I don't care for that. You ever heard that, like, men have a more visual kind of attraction and women don't bullshit. I can't stand that. For one, it's not a men-woman thing. It's a dominant submissive thing. For one, let's be clear, okay? But second of all, it always seems to kind of like implicitly underscore the idea that women aren't supposed to find men attractive. That like women are supposed to kind of like endure or maybe like enjoy the emotional components of, but not really the physical components of like literally having sex, which is insane. And I feel like this is a relatively common mentality. I know that it's not so much for like younger people these days because gender norms have shifted a lot, but I do genuinely feel like there is still kind of like a lingering issue there because this guy gets bullied a lot. He got bullied after the video came out. In fact, so much so that his girlfriend posted a comic where she was like, oh, okay, stop arguing with people online. Let's have sex or whatever. And people still make fun of it. You know what I mean? Which is wild because the only thing he's really doing, I guess, is saying he likes girls, which a lot of people like girls. You know, I think that the thing that a lot of people cringe at here, that it comes across as very, how do I put it? Like submissive and grovelly and pathetic as a guy to be earnestly straightforward about what kind of girls they like. That it's okay to be straightforward about what kind of girls you like as a guy, as a straight guy, but only in like an implicitly demeaning way. So, for instance, if you're in like a group of straight men and you're asked what your type is, like what type of girl you like, you can say something like, to pull a random example from recent pop culture, you know, I like tall girls with a fat ass. You can say that, nobody will make fun of you. You're completely fine on that. Like you see, like you're pretty much bulletproof. You're solid, you know? Nobody will get you on that. But if you do like, I don't know, if you do this like overly earnest, genuine, sincere, like, oh, there's so many things about women that I like, blah, blah, it comes across a little, I don't know, gay, and people will make fun of you for it, which is weird because you're really like advocating for you're putting forward like a much more direct interest in women than the other example. You know what I mean? So does anyone like wonder why that is? This is basic feminist theory, but the basic idea is that in heterosexual pairings, the relationship between men and women is codified as one of power primarily, where they have roles in their respective genders and they have expectations to live up to. And one of the ones that the man has to hold up is the idea of maintaining control over the woman, you know? And control over women means not just over any specific woman, but also control over the idea that women can control you, right? You don't want to indicate that you are vulnerable to women manipulating or using you. And one of the ways that women manipulate and use you is by leveraging their attractiveness and their sexual desirability. You know, this is where you get the idea of women being like seductresses or sirens. The idea that their sexual attractiveness or their sonorous voice or whatever else is a weapon that they use to manipulate men. Now, do some women do this? I mean, yeah, like, sure. And there are plenty of hot guys who abuse women too. That's not really like, yeah, sure. Attractive people get away with more than ugly people do in a lot of cases because that's, people are weak. What are you going to do? You know, it's not good. But I feel like that's a pretty, you know, there's a lot of tit for tat there, you know. But I don't think that women resent attractive men the same way that men resent attractive women. You know, like, I think that some guys, not all, not most, but some guys hate attractive women. And when they see attractive women, they see somebody who is by default manipulating others by leveraging their appearance. There's like a resentment there. Like, you know, sometimes it's, oh, you know, the way you use men. And sometimes it's like, oh, how dare you look like that, but not be mine. And the kind of like, you know, possessive, like domineering, you know, Archduke Frollo, or what is he? Archduke? No, Archbishop. What was his title? For, you know, Hunchback of Notre Dame shit. Judge? Didn't he have an arch before his name? Was it just Judge Frollo? Oh, okay, whatever. Yeah, in that kind of shit, you know? So I think that, again, people see a video like this, you know? And it's like, wow, the way he likes, see, you know, like he's putting himself in like a submissive position to them because the way he expresses interest and affection. Hello. Great taste in this guy, by the way. I gotta say, you know, it's not like there's anything wrong with the actual decision making being made here. You know, the subjects of attention, but like it's giving like accolades to the women. Does that make sense? Like the way he's singing, it's like, these are the things that I appreciate about women. Go them, as opposed to like talking about them like they're a slab of meat, which is, again, that's kind of the I like a tall woman with a fat ass thing. Look, I know this because I've done it before. I think most guys have at some point or another, where if you want to express what you're interested in or what you're into or whatever quickly without much like fuss, especially without like judgment or derision from other guys, the easiest way to do that is to be really blasé about it, really like nonchalant. You know, what kind of girls do you like? Yeah, I just give a fat ass, you know. Nobody will give you shit for that because you're not really demonstrating any like weakness or like potential vulnerability there. The lack of apparent care and interest indicates that you're like distanced, you're above it all. And obviously like living your life this way, like sincerely living your life this way, not like occasionally making a jokey offhand comment. That's fine. Everyone does that. But like authentically living in fear of demonstrating some kind of sincere appreciation for, you know, women or whoever else, is very cucked and very cringe. And you are not free. You are bound by chains. You are chained to yourself. You are weak. You know, you are servile to the social pressures of others. It's pathetic. Again, I know this doesn't seem like a big thing, but genuinely, I think a lot of people kind of like recoil when they see stuff like this. You know what I mean? Which like they see this and there's some like instinctual like cringe aspect that a lot of people in chat felt too. Don't distance yourself from that. I know I felt that way when I first saw it, even though now I think this is king shit, because again, it takes a lot of confidence to be this straightforwardly gay about women. You know, a lot of people feel that way. It's like, well, why, right? Like, what's the issue here? Is the issue that it's like a cat boy? Everything's a cat boy these days. I have 2 cats who are also boys. You know what? They're everywhere. What do you? It's half of all cats are boys. That's how it is, I think. The math checks out, I think, you know. Vaush, I've watched your content for too long. This doesn't cringe me. That's good. I think that's good. I think that seeing earnestness in other people and cringing at it is weak boy shit. I think that makes you weak. I think it's pathetic. But it's not just earnestness. Because if we saw a video of a person being very earnest about something else, like woodworking, it's something as innocuous and masculine coded as that, by the way, like some guy doing a bit like I really like, you know, I love the way the da 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 or that, you know, whatever. I feel like people would react differently. Maybe if the way he did like a little show tune, it comes across as gay or whatever. You know, here he's explicitly saying that he likes women. You know, you can be a gay woodworker, I guess. But I don't know. I just feel like people just kind of get uncomfortable with this. You know? I don't think that earnestness being cringe has to be normal, Linkard, and I think there's something more to it here. I think that it's not just the earnestness, because even if this was slightly less earnest, the straightforward acceptance of the degree to which he likes women broadly would still be treated by some as a kind of innately submissive or homosexual trait. Even I'm still calling it gay for pussy, you know? I guess maybe the easiest juxtaposition is that you can see it right here. The original song is Boys by Lizzo. You ever heard that song? It's just Lizzo sing. It's the same song. He's doing a cover of it basically with the lyrics changed. The original song by Lizzo is her. Hold on. Boys, Lizzo, lyrics. I like big boys, itty bitty boys, Mississippi boys, inner city boys. I like the pretty boys with the bow tie. Get your nails did, let it blow dry. I like a big beard. I like a clean face. I don't discriminate. Come and get a taste. From the playboys to the gay boys, go and slay boys. You my fave boys. Great. A fine song. Good music video too. I didn't really see people cringe at that, even though she's doing the same, literally the same, identical, the same thing for guys as this video is for girls. Maybe that's because people kind of just assume women are more emotional and therefore like them being overly earnest is more okay. Maybe it's because her earnest interest in guys is like taken for granted, so it doesn't seem weird that she would express it directly. I don't really know. All women are naturally gay. Yeah, that is true. You know, that is definitely true. I can't really identify with this. With the cringing or with liking boys or with liking girls, or I don't even know what you were referring to. Honestly, permission to be soft was one of the reasons I transed. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's just like I really do get the feeling that a lot of guys don't even like women because they just resent them, and more so, they don't even like having sex with women. You know, you would think that like the archetype of the hypermasculine male would be very emotionally distant, but then they would be like, I don't know, very good at sex because that's also considered a masculine trait, right? People brag, even people who don't like women very much brag about being good at sex, right? This is like an Andrew Tate adjacent thing, right? Where it's like they don't care about women, but when they need to, they'll rock her world. But the truth is, you can't actually be very good at sex when you have this attitude towards women. You can't. You're too self-conscious. You're not capable of it. You're way too concerned with maintaining frame and being hyper masculine to so much as lightly moan during sex. There's no way you're eating pussy. There's no way you're that good at sex, you know? At most, by good at sex, what you probably mean is you're a porn addict and you can't come from penetrative sex because you masturbate with too hard of a grip, so you just last for 3 hours. Like that, if that's what you mean, you know, the whole artifice of like masculine sexual conquest breaks apart if you're not willing to be a bit gay about women, you know? That trope, that archetype of like the guy who's really distant, but then he rocks your world when he you, total bullshit. Total bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Emotional earnestness and straightforwardness and like sincerity in the day-to-day world is what you apply holistically. The idea that it's like masculinity is suppressing it in one element but then somehow releasing it in another that's bullshit, you know? Complete bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. I think more people should be gay for women ideally. I think that would be okay. You know, I think that'd be cool. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. I just see this discourse come about over and over and over and over and over again. Vaush, there are plenty of songs where male singers go on at length about the specific ways that different women make their peepees hard. I think the difference here is that in those songs, it's always framed in a dominant and possessive context. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. You can get away with earnestness as long as it's about you controlling the women. You know what I mean? Like, there are plenty of hip-hop artists who have written songs where they are very earnestly talking about, like, degrading women or, like, they like these sex acts or whatever, and people don't seem to care about that, or they don't think that's an indication of some kind of, or talking about women like they're slabs of meat, and they don't look at that and go like, oh, wow, it's cringe how earnest they're being about the way they like women, because all those come across as domineering, whereas this comes across as, I mean, he's literally kneeling between them with his hands clasped. So, you know, it certainly doesn't come across domineering. Vaush, this is like the MRAs H-Bomb talked about who are weirdly sex-averse in their writing, like some asexuals are, and I know people IRL like this. Yeah, they don't like sex. They don't like women. All relations with women for these men is an expression of power over them. It's a way of showcasing their masculine ability to make women subservient. It's not about, like, pleasure for anyone, you know? There's no, like, I guarantee you that for a lot of those guys, like, even if they're in a relationship and they're doing their red pill thing or whatever, when they get their dick sucked, the thing that they enjoy is not the feeling of getting their dick sucked. The thing that they enjoy is the knowledge that they made a woman suck their dick. You know, you can introduce kink dynamics here if you want. I don't give a shit. But I think that if that's like the dynamic you're getting forced into because you can't be sincere about what you like, that's pretty cringe, you know? That's the real cringe. It's bragging about it to other men. Yeah, that's usually a good sign, right? Like, when you get with a woman, is your first thought as, well, I'm going to have something to brag about to the boys later? Because if that's the case, I have no idea what you're on about. A lot of women do this too, to be fair. A lot of women will, like, just sleepwalk their way through sexual dynamics with men, like straight women, you know? But then it's like a thing to talk about with the girls, you know? It's like, no, who's having fun? You're not even having fun. Be gay. Gays have fun, you know? Gays know how to have fun here with this. So do you think those types of guys are gay then? No, not necessarily. I think that a lot of people, I think that people overstate that point. If you're one of those types of guys, I do not think that necessarily means you're gay. I mean, maybe you are, I don't know. But like, I think it's just you've kind of blocked off your ability to have any kind of mutually positive relationship with a woman because you resent and hate them too much for being potential, like, arbiters of control over you through their appearance, you know? I feel like I'm doing some 101 shit right now, but I just can't get over the fact that every single time I see this video pop up, the same discourse emerges, like, every time, you know? Like, I feel like the same thing keeps happening. Hey, Noi. Great taste on this guy. Great taste. Read Dora Hetero. Good manga. Watch it if you want, but read it for sure. Great manga. I feel bad for JoCat. Well, I'm sure JoCat is doing fine. I'm not too concerned with him, like, especially. I don't know. It's more just about, yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of guys would be happier if they could be gay for pussy too, you know? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm worried for the boys here. you know? Most women would rather get railed by people like this than MRA types who never talk positively about their preferences. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, absolutely. 100%. There's a reason why, like left wing or bi dudes or whatever the else, like, you know, anything in that ballpark, like those dudes tend to get laid like crazy. You know, it's you actually look into the lives of all of these like austere red pill types, and they usually have like one occasional hookup that they then talk about endlessly for the next few. Yeah, oh man, I'm not, this is a separate segment. Just the like the way it's, because this happened over and over. One of the reason why the red pill community kind of fell apart is because a bunch of grifters started making money off of their like seminars and books, and one by one, basically all of them revealed themselves to be completely like just absolute losers. Like all of them. Like it would come out like, oh, this person fuck anyone. They're weird. They're kind of ugly. They have no style, no riz, no bitches. They like hire sex workers to take photos with. Like this happened to like literally like a dozen people or so in the course of a couple of years. We're just over and over and over and over and over again. It was like, oh, I guess this really doesn't work. Like the grifters are just lying to you because they want your money because you're desperate, you know? Look at the quote tweets from that video. It's just big accounts that are not even right-wing trashing on it. Everyone trashes on the damn video. Everyone trashes on it. Like it's not just right-wingers too. Left-wingers will trash in the video too. They will. It's a broader cultural issue. I think it's endearing and amazing. It's objectively endearing. It's just like, I don't know. A lot of people bring their own like pent-up feelings to it, and it's weird discourse all the time. How much of this earnestness is also envy? Well, he's just drawn a video of him like thirsting over fictional women. I don't know how much envy you can really get there. He does have a wife though, which is more than most of these losers can like achieve. I saw a bunch of leftists trashing on it for objectifying women. Okay, well, you know, lefty's gonna lefty. Sex negativity packaged as like feminist aversion to the male gaze is not exactly like a new trait, you know? It really is one of those like bell curve things where when you're at 0 IQ, you're like, you know, yeah, big titties in video games is based actually. And then when you're at like 100 IQ, it's like, whoa, hold on, the male gaze is something to be concerned about. Don't you think it's actually misogynistic for us to keep promoting these character designs that objectify women? And then 140 IQ is where you go, damn, I love these fat, big titties in my video games. Everyone that I know went through this exact same arc with like fan service and a bunch of other stuff. The problem isn't with fan service or like hot character designs or whatever. The problem is with it being done poorly, you know? Because you can still like cringe like at like an anime or video game where it's just shit designs or whatever. But if you're looking at like, I don't know, Guilty Gear tier character designing and going like, it's not realistic for women. Shut up. Nobody cares. But I think that for the most part, people are better about that. I don't know. I mean, like the envy of being this confident in your earnestness and your interest. Oh yeah, I think that's true. I genuinely think that a lot of guys would not be brave enough to like earnestly talk about what they like in women because they'd be afraid of being judged by other guys, which, you know, pretty gay. Like I do, like, not only do I think they wouldn't do it, I think that you could actually like find them in real life and go up to their house and say, here's a briefcase with money. I want you to make a video like this, okay? And put it online, and I'll give you the money. And a lot of them could not do it because they are so terrified of being like sincere with regards to what they like in women. Vaush, be real. Many women don't want men to be earnest about that. Then they're trash women, bad women. Then don't spend time around them. Any woman who is put off by you being earnest and enthusiastic and saying what you like about them or just what you like in general, trash woman. Not worth your time. Put her in the trash. Hoop, hoop, hoop. Get in the 3-pointer. Get her in there. Trash. That's why I don't like straight women. I've had to distance myself from women like that. It's all straight women. I need to talk more shit about straight women, you know? You know how people will say white woman in their memes when they really just mean woman? Like, they'll say white women be like this, but they really just mean women. When I say straight women, I mean straight women. You know? I'm not saying it's all women. When I mean women, I'll say women, you know? I mean straight women. Vaush, don't become Summerton too. No, I'm hitting him for what's real, okay? Not some weird real killer obsession bullshit, okay? Vaush, average guys talking about their types, ass or tits. Yeah, I mean, everyone does that to an extent, but yeah. Does this include straight trans women? Yes. Are the Summerton particles coming through? I'm plagiarizing his misogyny. Thank you. My brother-in-law is gay for my sister. It's endearing how much he loves her. That's nice. Yeah, it's what I've said before, you know? There are two types of wife guy, and one of them is the like, the old ball and chain, wife's making me do this kind of guy, and there is no guy more pathetic. That is genuinely like the most wretched, pathetic guy on earth. There's no type of guy worse than that. And then there's like level 2 wife guy, where they really just love their wife, and that's like Gomez in the Addams Family or whatever, and that's actually the greatest kind of guy possible, you know? It's like it's a very, very, like, you know, there's a big drop off between these 2 points. Like you've got one type of wife guy, okay, the good kind of wife guy, unrivaled, inspiring, I feel. Hughes from FMA, yeah, it's good. What about non-compete leads more towards the former. He doesn't do the ball and chain thing, but like his my wife thing is more like him. He's always defending his wife in like a cringy stand-in kind of way, and that's always pretty weird. Do you believe in conversion therapy for straights? I believe in a better kind of straight person, is what I believe in. Okay? Yeah, the wife guyness was not his worst quality, to be fair, to be sure, you know. Doesn't it just feel a little bit like, just, you know, like if you're a straight woman or a straight man and you want compliments on how you look, that the way to get them is to go to either gay women or gay men respectively. Isn't that weird? Does anyone else find that weird? Like, this is very much a het dynamic thing. Like, when women want compliments on how they look or assessment or whatever else, like they go to women, and men for gay men, like that's where, because straight women don't compliment straight men that much and vice versa. So it's like, it's all the fucking game. Platonic or otherwise, you know, I just mean like they can't do it. It doesn't, well, whatever. Do straight people not compliment each other? Straight couples, in my experience, tend not to. No. Obviously, lots of them do. It's not a 100% thing, but there's definitely a massive drop-off. Gay couples and lesbian couples and poly couples and straight relationships where neither of the people are heterosexual, like a bi girl and a bi guy or whatever, they all compliment each other really aggressively. They're all over it. But straight women and straight men, from what I've noticed, like in the relationships that I've seen, anecdotally heard of, and just I feel like we could all agree to this to some extent, there's a lot more weirdness there when it comes to like just indicating interest. Yeah, it's not purely like a man to woman thing. There is a lot of tit for tat there. There's a lot of back and forth. It's not good. We need better heterosexuals. All right, we need to build better heterosexuals. It's also not purely a heterosexual thing, in fairness. A lot of guys, for example, just literally cannot compliment if it's not like a sex thing. It's very weird. I'm scared to give compliments, Vaush. What if I come across too strong? I don't know. I mean, what situation are you giving compliments? If they're your partner, what do you mean? You can't come off too strong compliment to your partner, right? I mean, I guess you could, but how? Like, do you mean like a date? Like, what do you mean? Compliment their dress. I don't know. I believe in you. Is it wrong for me to be a het guy but kind of like the ironic dynamic? Like, I can give compliments all the time, but I like the stoic vibe. You can be whoever you want. Be like sincere with your personality. I will note, however, that as I've gotten older, the coolness factor of like the calm, cold, stoic person who doesn't say much has dropped off to like negative a million. And my appreciation for people who can be like, you know, straightforward, upfront, friendly, wear their heart in their sleeve, all that kind of shit has risen like 50 billion points, you know? Like massive, unbelievable shift there. I'm not saying that means it's bad to be stoic or whatever, but you can tell when a person's being a tryhard about it, and it's not a desirable aesthetic, I feel. I don't think that's a you thing, Vaush. I think culture has shifted there. It's just not a nice thing to have to deal with. It's like a lot of guys make terrible friends. Almost all of my friends are chicks or non-binary people, not guys. People who aren't guys. You know, I'm not conceptually opposed to guys. I'm a guy even. It's been known, you know? But like, holy shit. They can't even... no compliments, no sincerity, everything's couched in irony, no reliance on people. They can't like say anything directly. It always has to be 50 jokes because they can't bear the idea of being like remotely sincere. Holy shit, dude. Get over yourself. What? Oh my God. I'm not saying you need to like coddle me or anything. Like, you can do whatever. You can be a little mean. I don't give a shit. Friend who's a little mean, that's fine, you know? But like, you have to be at least a little sincere. You have to. You can't, not everything can be couched in irony. It's not allowed. I love cuddling with you. There you go. Too strong, Vaush. If you're already cuddling a person, okay, the only time you would say, I love cuddling with you is either during or after cuddling with a person. And if you've already cuddled with a person, you can say that. That isn't too strong. You can say that. Now, if you haven't cuddled with them, why would you say, I love cuddling with you? I feel like this is a you thing, Vaush. I talk serious stuff with my guy friends. The fact they have to think about it makes me feel like it's more serious. I don't know I don't know what the orange leftist. I don't know what you're referring to or what you're responding to meaningfully here. If you're being sincere, then sincerity is what I'm talking about. Like, that's good. Watch Shu's most recent video on this. I don't need to be woman-splained men's issues by a cultural appropriator like Shu on head. You know, I was born a guy. I've lived being a guy, you know, my entire life, and you know, now it's always with the women talking over, you know. I won't stand for it. Stoic guys just want to be cuddled. You know how, generally speaking, when two people are cuddling, it's usually the guy, or if that's not available, or if there's two guys, the larger person who's like the big spoon or whatever. But that has led to like a bunch of memes where guys are like, 50% of the time I'm stoic, and the other 50% I want to be the little spoon or whatever, which gives me like, what's the term? The ick so fucking much. You all realize that when you're cuddling with a person, both people get to be the big spoon at different times. There is no relationship where one person is always the. What if you want to turn? Like one side gets to war. Everyone does that. Which makes me wonder, are like straight heterosexual couples existing in a dynamic in which it'll literally be like, if the guy is turned towards the girl, they'll cuddle, but if the guy wants to turn around, he'll like separate and lay separate on the other side, and the cuddling ends because she couldn't cuddle him from behind as the big spoon? Is that a thing? Is that a thing people do? Because I don't know what else to take from the implication of like, oh, sometimes guys want to be the little spoon. Yeah, I always want to be the little spoon when it's time for me to turn because one side is too warm. The thing that everyone does while trying to sleep. Again, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but it really makes me wonder if like cuddling is being done conditionally on the assumption that you're facing towards the. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't understand. I don't understand. Genuinely insane. Like it makes me like uncomfortable to think about. It makes me like, do they separate? Like the guys like, oh, sorry, I want to turn around, you know. So he like moves away from the chick and then turns like a foot and a half away from her. Vaush, this feels like a touch grass moment for me or for them. Yeah, Vaush, my ex would literally make us switch sides. Are you kidding? Like they needed to turn. So it'd be like, let's switch so I can keep. Okay. All right. Genuine, like mentally ill, genuinely, like actually insane, actually insane. We can only assume this is the case for most heterosexual couples. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'm gay. You know, I don't know. Unbelievable. Well, yeah, we can only assume. Flip over without letting go of her. Yeah, just like suplex her over to the other side. Yeah. I'm so happy you've said this because everyone else I have asked has told me they separate away / separated from me while cuddling. I don't understand. I once dated a woman who literally thought it was gay for a man to want that. This is on board with like does not wash own asshole in shower like guy behavior. Okay. It doesn't help the women also enforce it, lol. Straight women? Okay. Wait, do you never during cuddling roll away just for space? If I just wanted space, I could do that while facing the partner as well. There's a difference between just wanting space and specifically like never letting them be the big spoon, because whenever you turn away, they can't, like, I don't know. Okay. Well, you guys are, oh my god. I'm being sent to the phantom zone right now. I'm literally just thinking of like I'm having like empathy flashes to like millions of het relationships where they've never considered the possibility that it might be cozy to be spooned by the woman just because you're turning to the other side. Okay. I don't know. Most annoying shit men do. Yeah. Oh, dude, this image is literally a trigger for me. Holy shit. What the proper response to this is that image of the cat holding its nose and holding out a stick of deodorant. Every man has two fantasies. All odds are against this Warhammer 40k shit. And the other one is the mommy dommy. It's okay. You don't have to externalize. This is embarrassing to even look at, dude. Holy shit. This image implies so much like psychosexual damage in the mind of heterosexual men that it's genuinely difficult to break into. It's like this. It's like actually like oh my god. Holy shit. This is like, it's like somebody showing you like a Rorschach test where there's like indistinct ink blobs, and at the bottom they've said like, this is an image of my mother hitting my father when I was a kid or something. Like it's insane. Holy shit. Why does this feel like it has religious undertones? This is a very conservative image, so I can understand that. Just came back from the restroom. Why are we looking at a serial killer's diary? Yeah, thank you. Oh, man. Wait, I like mommy-dommy types. The issue here is not that you like mommy-dommy types. The issue is the juxtaposition between these two as the, like, defining elements of your character, i.e., like, living a life where you alternate between juvenile 10-year-old ideals of masculinity and, like, unleashing suppressed emotional baggage with fantasies of, let's be fair here, sexual encounters you're not having. This is an anime image, okay? This is pathetic, okay? If you're actually doing like psychosexual trauma dumping into an image that involves like an anime mommy-dommy figure, you're not having sex with the mommy-dommy. You're just fantasizing about it. Jerk off, come, and then reevaluate your life, okay? You're not getting that shit in real life, okay? Come on, let's get real here. I mean, when I'm not allowed to express literally any emotion whatsoever, except for when I'm shamefully jerking off to like mommy-dommy or transgender pornography online. During those few minutes, I get to experience an entire different side of my character that I immediately abandon after I come because I'm ashamed of it. That's literally like a third of all men, by the way. Insane. Insane. Why do you think so many conservative men will jerk it to like trans porn and then go right back to hating them? Like that's not even a third. That's all men except for me specifically, I assume. I can't even, I hate it. I hate it so much. It makes me so uncomfortable to think about. Did you see the 2023 Pornhub search breakdown? So funny. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Yeah. People in chat are catching strays, but they're not actually strays. They're aimed directly at them. So it's not really, yeah.